Am I the asshole for not wanting a ring my fiancé already gave to another girl? My now fiancé was engaged a couple years before we got together, and they broke up and she gave the ring back. We've been together a few years and a few days ago, he proposed and I was super excited. The ring looked kinda familiar and when I asked him where it was from, he said it was the ring he gave to ex-fiancé. I immediately took it off and was like, I don't want a ring you bought for someone else, it wasn't meant for me. He got upset and said it didn't matter, because it's not hers anymore, it's mine. My family and friends are split in saying I'm the asshole and I'm justified. I don't want him to spend a whole other $1,000 on a ring for me, but I want a ring that was meant for me, not for someone else. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. This is ridiculous, how dare he give you her ring? It's her ring, he meant it for her, bought it for her. How does he think to give you her rejects is okay? You are completely justified. And I would rethink this guy if I were you. Oh wow. Definitely not the asshole, are you serious? What kind of guy does that? I would be pissed and would have reacted the same way. Not the asshole, I would have sold it and used the money for another. An engagement ring doesn't have to be crazy expensive, but it should be personal. Info: is it a ring he bought or one that's passed down in his family? Not the asshole. LMAO, in what universe did he think that was going to fly? Not the asshole, that is tacky as hell of him to give you that ring. You should get a ring that is meant for you, not a recycled engagement ring from his last fiancé. I get being frugal, but this is too much. Not the asshole, and this is coming from someone who thinks engagement rings are a stupid waste of money. I'm sure he could sell the ring and get a new one that would be special to you. I don't think he's being the asshole either though, he's just not seeing it the same way you do. Selling the old ring would be a good compromise. I wouldn't want a ring that was meant for somebody else either. When he picked out the ring years ago he had someone else in mind. Not the asshole. Not the asshole, he literally bought it for another woman. Your ring should be something he bought for you, why can't he sell the ring and get you one you like? Not the asshole. The ring is supposed to be a symbol of love and commitment to for you. Not something he gives out to different people until someone finally accepts it or goes through with marrying him. He could have taken the ring back or kept it for sentimental reasons, but giving it to another significant other is unacceptable. The only exception would be if it's a family heirloom, doesn't seem to be the case here. You're totally fine not accepting a ring meant for someone else. Not the asshole. That's extremely tacky to do. No assholes here, he's not an asshole for giving you that ring unless he knew ahead of time that it would cause you displeasure. You're not an asshole for not wanting a significant possession that was originally given to another person. I think both of you should take a step back and make clear that no matter what the ring looks like, you two want to be together forever. That's the most important part of the proposal. Not the asshole. No one should be expected to walk around with a constant reminder of their partner's ex on their finger. That's disturbing. Not the asshole, I can't even imagine giving a ring I bought for someone else. The ring is supposed to be symbolic of you and him, not just a pretty tag he can reuse on people. It's possible he's hung up on the cost investment though, and not simply stupid. Perhaps offer to help him sell the ring and then you both go to the jeweler and pick a ring that properly symbolizes your commitment to each other. By the way, if things go in that direction and you end up going to a jeweler and want advice, PM me. I went on a wild rabbit hole of research and reading about rings, settings, cuts, jewels, metals, etc. when I picked my wife's ring. Sure, it's anecdotal, but she constantly gushes about her ring to her friends and knows the thought and effort put into picking it. Not the asshole. That said, I do want to see the kind of upbringing and circumstances that led to the train of thought that justifies the behavior in his head. An engagement ring is really special. He should have given you a different ring, even when considering the circumstances. A cheaper, less ornate ring would have been fine, but the same ring another woman refused is not acceptable in any way, shape or form, unless it's made from an Uru metal and vibranium alloy. Not the asshole, unless it's a ring that was passed down, sell the ring and buy another one. Not the asshole. I'm not a proponent of any of the stereotypes or societal rules that a man has to spend X amount on a ring or anything like that, but you don't reuse an engagement ring unless it's like a family heirloom. What's next? Is going to give you some lingerie that he bought for that first honeymoon? Sell the old ring, use proceeds to buy a new one. I hope it's not my ex. Though, he said he threw my ring into the sea and yelled, "Fuck you," at it. I think it's justified. I'd feel weird, too, if I got a ring meant for another girl. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. That's so tacky. He could just sell that one and get one meant for you. It doesn't have to be expensive, just personal. Not the asshole. It's incredibly tacky to use the same ring from a prior engagement. Not the asshole. What a cheap ass. Give him already worn underwear. Feed him already pre-eaten food. Shit. Definitely not the asshole. In what universe did he think that was a good idea? And why hadn't he sold it already? Not the asshole. That shit's cursed okay. Oof. Not the asshole. I'm not a big believer on karma and juju, but giving a failed relationship ring to your current, hopefully positive, relationship is testing all sorts of bad juju lines. Plus that's kinda messed up because like you said, it was picked out for her and it seems like lazy convenience that he reuses it when proposing to you. Especially since it's not a family heirloom or anything either. Not the asshole. My husband was engaged once prior, and she returned the ring when they broke it off. When we started talking about getting engaged, he asked me if it would be okay to use the same solitaire in my engagement ring, as it's a family heirloom. I thought it was so sweet and considerate that he even asked me if it was okay. Of course I said yes, because it meant a lot to him, and he means the world to me. He took the rest of the diamonds from the previous engagement ring and sold them to the jeweler to help pay for the ring he designed for me. I don't think you did anything wrong by reacting that way. Not the asshole. Would he be okay with you presenting him with boxers you'd once given to your ex? NTA. Recycling is nice but not like this. Not the asshole, and Jesus, your fiancé is dense. He would probably expect the ring back in a divorce also. I would put this in the deal-breaker category. It's a simple matter of respect and devotion. Give a ring already given shows neither. Not the asshole, it is a ring, not a hiking backpack. Not the asshole. It wasn't bought with you in mind. It wasn't bought with the idea that it could be passed down to future generations. It was bought for an ex and he's trying to recycle. Your fiancé should sell that ring and get one that fits with your relationship, not with ideas from a previous relationship. Not the asshole. He seriously thought that was okay. Well, gee whiz, let's save money on the whole wedding. Maybe the ex still has her dress and shoes that OP can borrow. Think the venues will let them apply the old deposits too. This guy is a loser. OP, you are not the asshole. Not the asshole. The shit straight women put up with. SMDH. Nah. You're not an asshole for wanting your own unique ring, but I can't call him an asshole for being clueless. Not the asshole. I completely understand why you don't want that ring. My husband was given a ring by his stepmom for his previous girlfriend. He never asked for it, and he never proposed to that woman. I also didn't want that ring. He didn't pick it out, and the person who did pick it, did that with someone else in mind. I might suggest a compromise though. I offered to have the stones reset into a ring I would like. We talked about bringing it to a jeweler and having them remake it into something I wanted. In the end though, my husband opted to get me a different ring. I had always talked about wanting a black diamond and he didn't want me to have to compromise. The free ring was a clear diamond. The major difference here though, rings are expensive and that first ring was a gift so he could afford to buy a new one. Maybe you would be comfortable remaking the one for his ex to save money. Not the asshole. I wouldn't want a repurposed ring. That's lazy. Not the asshole. What a cheapskate. How he can think to marriage you using his ex ring. I would dump him. Ew. Not the asshole. You don't want something that's so sentimental that's been on the hand of someone else. It's worse than going to a thrift shop. Not saying thrift shop is a horrible thing as long as it's something that's been communicated. I can't believe how little thought he put into it, and if it's just a ring then he might as well just get you a plain band. Rings have meaning behind them, it's not just some piece of jewelry. Even if it wasn't an engagement ring, you don't second-hand gift something from an ex. Part of the ring is working with your partner and finding something that suits her style. Not the asshole, obviously not. Have him sell it and pick a new one out together. For something that's only power is symbolic, it certainly shouldn't be a symbol of a failed past relationship. Nah. This is really something he should have discussed with you. You're both coming from different places. Engagement rings are expensive and jewelry doesn't resell well. However, the sentiment of keeping the engagement ring intended for your ex to give to your new fiancé is pretty abysmal. He's being more frugal than sentimental and you're being more sentimental than frugal, and that's okay. I can't believe your family is even split on this. Not the asshole. 10,000%. When my boyfriend, now fiancé, and I were dating, I made it 100,000% clear that he cannot give me the same ring or I'd refuse to marry him. He was also previously engaged but broke it off with her, years before we met. Totally get where you are coming from. You don't deserve anyone's sloppy seconds. Your boyfriend could have sold the ring and used the money to get you a new one. Not the asshole, he bought the ring for another girl, of course you're not going to wear it. Not the asshole, it's easy enough to go to a jeweler or goldsmith and either give the ring as part of the payment or let it be worked over to use the materials to create something new. It's just thoughtless and careless of him. Very low effort, and suggest that the finger is easier exchangeable than the ring. Unless if it was a heirloom passed from his family, I think it would be okay to refuse a used ring that had another meaning some time ago. Just ask him if he would be okay to receive some present that was returned to you from your ex. A lot of people consider that to be awful bad luck and doom for a marriage to wear a ring from a failed one. Not the asshole, why can't he sell this one and buy you another one with the money? Posts like this always make me think of Tam from Still Game in the episode Hyperdales. I know to anyone that isn't Scottish that won't make much sense. Essentially, Tam is a tight ass. When his cat Missy died, he got another cat and called it the same name so he didn't have to buy a new collar even though the second cat was a boy. Don't marry a Tam, just ask Francis, it isn't fun. Not the asshole. Not the asshole at all. Especially since you don't want him to buy an expensive ring, you want a $300 one. Don't let anyone tell you it's selfish or anything like that for wanting a ring chosen with your specially in mind. Not the asshole. There are plenty of articles that are appropriate to be worn as hand-me-downs, an engagement ring is not one of them. Oh, wow. Not the asshole. Not the asshole at all. I wouldn't accept it. Not the asshole. If finances are an issue, get something cheap, or sell the one he has. I personally didn't care about the cost, if the stones were real, etc., just the intention. But I would feel pretty shitty about being given the same ring he proposed to someone else with.